Right. So let's start with our first part, which is knowing about the facts. One thing which many people don't know is that one can donate when they are alive. So let's talk about what all can be done by a live donor. First of all, a live donor can give one kidney, part of liver, bone marrow, and part of skin. One kidney, why? Because we have two kidneys, and scientifically it has been proven that a person can live a normal life even if he or she has one kidney. So, yeah, does precaution has to be taken? Yes, but for few months, but then a person can nearly live a normal life. Second part is donating part of liver. Liver is the only organ of our body which can regenerate by itself. Hence, if somebody is sick and somebody was to give a part of their liver, 20% or 30%, that by itself will grow into a complete liver within few months. So, that is something which can be done. Bone marrow. Bone marrow is nothing but the blood factory of our body. That is where our blood gets generated. Many people whose bone marrow go bad, they can either pick up leukemia or blood cancer. If somebody who is healthy and has a matching bone marrow and was supposed to donate, then that person's life can be saved. And the last one is part of our skin. It can be given from the inner thigh or from our lower back, and it's usually required by burn victims or acid attack victims, and their life can be saved if part of skin was to be donated. One more thing to remember is that living donor has to be 18 years and above. No minor can ever donate when alive. The person has to be an adult above 18 years of age, and most of the living donation happens within the family. The primary reason is that within the family there is no money which might exchange hands, and hence bulk of the live donor happens within the family. In case a person has to donate to a friend or to somebody else, then it requires approval from the police. Why? Because they want to ensure that there is no financial exchange which is happening between both the parties. Otherwise, there is no other approval required. Other part which many of us think that the blood group has to match in case of living donation, that is actually not the case. A mismatch of organs can happen. A positive donor can give a organ to a negative person, provided the receiver is healthy enough to receive it. The last part which we need to remember is that getting a organ transplant is one thing, but to survive that and to be healthy again is the another thing. So, in case of a kidney transplant, usually it takes the patient between 6 to 8 months to recover. Why? Because the moment we have any foreign organ in our body, our immune system starts to fight it. Hence, doctor gave them heavy immune suppressors, which means they can't have any infection. Hence, 6 to 8 months of precautions is required to ensure that they are back and they are healthy, right. So, let us go forward. Let us talk about what can be donated when a person is dead. Now, a person's death can happen in two ways, either by heart failure or can happen when a person is declared brain death. Now, if a person is declared dead by heart failure, it can happen either at home or can happen in the hospital. In that case, only part of eye, which is called cornea. So, please remember, when we say eye donation, it is not the whole eye which is donated, it is part of the eye which is called cornea which is donated, part of skin which again is from the inner thigh and the lower back, and in some cases bones can be donated. That is the only three things which can be donated when a person dies because of heart failure. It is only when a person dies because of brain death, which can happen only in the hospital, and we will speak about it in next few minutes, then only 8 organs can be donated. Yes, 8 people can be saved. That person can donate both the kidneys, both the corneas, can donate the whole liver, can donate part of skin, can donate bones, heart, pancreas and lungs. So, 8 people life can be completely saved. Now, unlike live donor, in case of a person when dead and gives organ, there is a waiting list, and it is pretty simple. there is a waiting list out here to ensure that the right person receives the organ, and second, to take out any kind of biases which might exist in the family or may exist anywhere else. So, if a person's family agrees to donate organ, they wouldn't know who will receive the organ. Why? Because it will go purely by the waiting list. One of the major advantages of going by the waiting list is it takes away any kind of black marketing or anything else to happen, because there is a separate team which takes care of the waiting list across India and they manage that. Does it require approval? Definitely yes. In case of a dead person donating organs, the family has to say yes. A person like me, I might saying throughout my life that yes, I wish to donate, but after my death, if my family says no, then the organ donation will not happen. And also, if I keep on saying throughout my life, I do not wish to donate, but after my death, if my family says yes, then the organ donation will happen. Hence, family has a very important role to play, which we will speak about few minutes from now. In case of a organ donation after death, the blood group has to match. Medical science has not advanced enough in this case. So, in case of a dead person donating organ, the blood group has to match and it has to go as per that. The way I have explained to you few moments back, in case of a heart surgery, a person might have to take care for up to 1 year before he or she can recover and start leading a normal life, right. So, I think up till now what we have covered is a person who is alive can donate, a person when dies either because of heart failure or by brain death, a person can donate. So, either way we can help save life. Now, other important part which we need to talk about are the timelines. Time is important in our life and the same thing happens in organ donation. So, heart and lungs once harvested from the donor has to be transplanted within 4 hours. Liver and pancreas has to be transplanted within 12 hours, kidneys has to be transplanted within 24 hours. In case of eye, which is cornea, and skin, it has to be retrieved within 6 hours of death, but can be stored up till 3 years. Hence, we have eye banks and we have skin banks. So, the time on hand is very, very less, and that is the most difficult time for any family who have lost a loved one. They are in grief, and but unfortunately that is the time where they have to decide if they want to save somebody's life and make a difference, and hence knowing the timelines are very, very important, right. This also brings up a topic which is called as green corridor, that is primarily used for heart and lung because the time on hand is very less. In this case, police works very closely with the hospitals and ensure that for the ambulance to transport the organs, especially heart and lung, from place A to place B, they ensure that there is no traffic on the road as if it is a VIP who is traveling. This allows organs to be transplanted at a ultra fast speed, and hence doctors are able to spend more time in the transplant surgery and help save lives. I hope it is clear on the timelines. Let us now go to the next part which we just spoke about. Why is there a waiting list? The law of economics still works here. When the demand is more and the supply is less, the problem happens, right. As of now, the people waiting for organ donation in India are in 6 digits, unit 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 lakhs, in upper lakhs if you put it all together, and the people who are donating are in 4 digits, unit 10, 100, 1000. So, you can see the gap between demand and supply. What happens when there is a gap between demand and supply? There is something called as black marketing which starts to happen. People who have their loved one in the waiting list which is in lakhs, they definitely want to save their loved ones, and they know they have no hope if they are waiting only for the waiting list to come through. So, what do? They want to save their loved ones, so they try to buy an organ. The intention is right, but the mode is bad. the intention is to save the loved ones, but only because the gap between demand and supply, the black marketing happens. So, unless we bridge the gap between demand and supply, taking black marketing out from organs is practically impossible, right? Why is supply less? I think the answer is simple. People are not aware, people do not want to talk about it, because when we talk about organ donation, the first thought comes to our mind is death, right? And we do not want to talk about death because we are, as human beings, are wired not to talk about death, right? But we forget it could be our loved one who might be requiring an organ. So, unless we all start thinking about it, we have a problem. And our attempt here, talking to you now via this session, is to ensure that you know enough about organ donation so that you can help save life in the future, right? So, I think that is where we talk about waiting list. Now, an important thing to understand for all of us is what is brain death, because there is a difference between saving 8 lives or saving 3 lives, right. So, let us see this video on brain death, which I think should clear all your doubts on what is brain death.
Hello, I'm Dr. Paul Ratzker, and I have been a practicing neurosurgeon for over 20 years. Over the next 5 minutes, I will try to explain what brainstem death is. Brainstem death, sometimes called brain death or neurological death, is a term usually not well understood by the public. People tend to confuse brainstem death with coma. This brief animation will help explain what brainstem death is and how it is substantially different from coma. Let us start by understanding anatomy. The brain consists of 2 parts, the cortex and the brainstem. The cortex is the larger part of the brainstem the smaller, which is actually the top of the spinal cord. The cortex controls higher functioning activities such as reading, writing, and talking. If the cortex is seriously damaged, the person might enter into a coma where he loses consciousness. But even in a coma, a person might still feel pain or respond to stimuli, and sometimes a comatose patient might regain consciousness. Brainstem death, however, is substantially different from coma. Brainstem death is a term used to describe the whole brain dying, both the cortex and the brainstem. The brainstem is the central nervous system of the human body, and it is the center of consciousness. If the brainstem dies, respiration will stop. Once the heart stops receiving oxygen, it too will die and stop beating, and all other organs also die as a result of oxygen deprivation. How do we know if the brainstem has died? Modern medicine has several ways to determine that the brainstem has died. One way is to use imaging technology to see if there is any blood flow to the brain. If there isn't, the brain cells have died from lack of oxygen. Another method is to check for the neurological activities that the brainstem controls. If the person is not conscious, cannot breathe, cannot swallow, cannot cough, and pupils cannot respond to light, these are all signs the brainstem is dead. How does brainstem death occur? If a person receives a serious blow to the head, the brain might begin to swell. Since the skull is made of hard bone, it does not allow the brain to expand. Physicians can try medication to reduce the swelling, but if this does not succeed, the pressure in the brain can grow greater than the pressure of the beating heart. Once this happens, the heart can no longer successfully force oxygenated blood to the brain. With no blood supply to the brain, the whole brain dies due to lack of oxygen. In fact, the brain cells don't just die. They begin a process called lysis, where they begin to liquefy. This liquefaction of the brain cells makes brainstem death irreversible. Once the brainstem dies, the person stops breathing, and the heart and the rest of the organs die from oxygen deprivation. How is it possible, then, for the heart of a brainstem dead patient to continue beating? Where does the heart get oxygen from? The patient had been put on a ventilator to help him breathe, and afterwards his brainstem died. Even though the brain stem is dead and the lungs no longer function, the heart continues to beat because it is artificially being supplied oxygen from the ventilator. If the brain stem and the rest of the brain is dead, what is instructing the heart to beat? The heart is independent of the brain. It has its own electrical system called a pacemaker, found within its walls, that causes it to beat. As long as the heart gets oxygen from the ventilator, the heart will continue beating for a short period of time. The heart is simply an automatic pump and is not connected to any other organ in any meaningful way. In fact, a transplanted heart, for example, does not get connected to the brain of the recipient. After the onset of brainstem death, if the deceased is left on a ventilator, how long will the dead body's heart continue to beat? The heart can beat for a few more hours, sometimes even a few weeks, but on the average, the heart will beat for about 2 or 3 days, and then it dies. Brainstem death is death. It is irreversible, and systemic failure of all organs is inevitable. No one has ever so-called woken up from brainstem death. If the death of the brainstem means the patient has died, why does the dead body feel warm to the touch and look like it's sleeping? It's important to recognize the difference between an organism and an organ. The human being, the organism, is dead, but the organs, such as the heart, are being kept alive for a few more days, giving the appearance of a sleeping person. A brainstem dead patient is not a person suffering from brainstem death. He is dead. Once death has been established, the question facing the family in this situation is what to do. Should the family turn off the ventilator and bury the deceased? Or should the family keep the body on a ventilator in order to donate organs and save other people's lives? Emotionally, this is a difficult decision, and every family has to do what they feel is right.